The Supreme Court is continuing a cruel immigration policy. So is Joe Biden. Well, that can't be true. I've never had any disagreements with anything Joe Biden's done before. A border closure policy. Oh, wait, I remember this. Wait, Title 42. We've talked about this before. This is the same. Yeah. What was this? Is this the one that like categorizes asylum seekers in a way that allows them to be treated with less than the dignity that asylum seekers should? What is the Title 42? They declared them like a public health hazard. So they were able to ignore their rights in ways they couldn't otherwise. I remember that. Yeah, no, Biden has defended the reinvocation of Title 42 for a while, I think. Like, he doesn't talk about it. I think we're getting a ton of, like, asylum seekers and illegal immigrants right now. We're getting a huge flood of them. I think Biden, like, really wants that number to go down, so he doesn't want to decrease any of the... He doesn't want to, like, roll back some of this stuff, because it would give him less power to try to, like, seem as though he's doing something about it. Now, I think we should have more illegal immigrants, or better yet, legal ones. But, how many undocumented... Wait, or sorry. How many border crossings 2022? U.S. border encounters top 2.76 million in 2022. Breaking previous record. Breaking the previous annual record by more than 1 million. When the conservatives say that we're having an unprecedented flood of illegal immigration, they're being imprecise, but they're referring to something that's real. For the 12 months ending September 30th, CBP migrants more than 2.7 million times compared to 1.7 for 2021, which was the previous yearly high.
Group after group of asylum seekers crossing the Arizona border.
It's beautiful coming to a free country.
Giselle Palacio.
Wow, look, somebody who deserves to be here more than like every single Republican.
And her 3-year-old daughter came here from Cuba.
Why did you come?
I want to be free. I want to buy some food, decent food for my girl, and work and get effort and progress. American dream, you know.
Wow, well, I will now vote in fascists to keep her from living here. Even though all data that can be publicly accessed indicates that her being here will do nothing but better the quality of my life. I will literally vote in Hitler to keep her from living here.
Area alone is seeing hundreds of asylum seekers each night.
And in just the last year, there have been more than 300,000 illegal border crossings in the area around Yuma. That's 3 times the city's entire population of nearly 100,000. It's an all-time record.
Is that sustainable?
It's not sustainable.
Douglas Nichols is Yuma's mayor.
I definitely do consider this a crisis. It's a situation where numbers are multiple times higher than anywhere else in history.
The only hospital...
Why? Why is it bad? Tell me. Tell me why. Why is it bad? Tell me why. Why? Why is it bad? Why? Tell me why. What's happening? Tell me.
Here estimates that over 6 months, it's doled out $20 million in uncompensated medical care to migrants.
We have to stop that.
You mean they've gotten emergency room treatments? Okay.
Care to migrants.
We have to stop that.
Compensated meds. It's doled out estimates that over 6 months, it's doled out $20 million in uncompensated.
By $20 million, they mean the ER had to do one appendectomy. One guy had appendicitis. Somebody stubbed their toe and went in because they got infected. 20 million's not much. No, not at hospital uninsured emergency room prices. This is one ibuprofen they gave.
Medical care to migrants.
We have to stop that border flow. If you're going to have the borders open.
Why? All the data indicates that when they come over, they contribute more to the economy than they take away. Not my fault we have a shitty medical system. Certainly not their fault.
Open like they are, then there has to be a payment source for these individuals.
Officials here say they're not getting enough help from the federal government. Arizona's governor has spent $6 million to bring in these shipping containers to close gaps in the border fence.
Guys, where does this money come? What, guys, we're running out of money to support the border crossing people. Oh, I know. I'll spend multiple $1 million creating a This is real, by the way. They literally, it's like, how do we stop them? Yeah, dude, we'll erect like a 20-foot tall shipping. Oh my God. An athletic teenager could climb up this.
Fence. The state is also spending $83,000 per bus to send migrants to Washington, D.C.
Ah, yes, that's right. The Ron DeSantis or Greg Abbott program of sending cross-country buses to go dump them in freezing temperatures on Christmas Eve outside Kamala Harris's house. Yes.
Play a big role.
But
guys, these illegal migrants are costing us so much money. Now, please do not mind me as I spend double the yearly minimum wage salary, triple in Texas, so that we can do a political stunt to put them in freezing cold temperatures.
volunteers like Fernando Quiroz say there is no chaos. Just anti-immigrant rhetoric in an election year.
None of these individuals are overwhelming, overrunning this city.
Still, he views it as a humanitarian crisis.
We spent like 25 days coming here.
One that brought a desperate Giselle Palacio and her family to U.S. soil in search of a dream, enduring a nightmare.
Local officials say they expect border crossings here to rise again over the next few months as temperatures cool.
Remember, guys, migrants are human and Republicans are not. Literally, though, like, guys, we're losing so much money on migrants. For example, look at this $5 billion I spent building a giant scarecrow army in the desert to scare them away. Guys, do you have any idea how expensive it is to keep up this campaign of persecution and legal harassment against asylum seekers? Oh my God, it's a nightmare. Take to any fucking like Republican or like, hey, what exactly is the issue with these people coming over here? What problems do you actually have? And you know what they'd actually say, by the way? They would talk about crime and trafficking. That's what they would say. Stuff they can't actually prove or substantiate, but when the talking heads get in front of the news cameras, they talk about, oh, here's our humanitarian concerns. We're just running out of money, da-di-da-di-da. The framing from the video we just watched was pretty positive, though. Like, they followed up the claims that they can't afford it immediately with like, oh, well, here's what they're actually spending their money on. I think the video was okay. The U.S. is suing Arizona over shipping containers on the border with Mexico, saying it's trespassing on federal lands. Yeah, guys, I can't believe this is real. The state officials in Arizona built their wall on federal land. For those of you who don't know how federal land works in the United States, okay? For those of you who don't know, all right? Federal land is, you're not going to believe this, federal land. The state has as much of a right to build on it as you do individually as a private citizen. It's federal land. And those idiots spent millions of dollars shipping containers over there for nothing. They're going to get sued. Those containers are going to get taken down. There was no outcome to that other than wasting millions of dollars that could have gone towards making the lives of those refugees better. The cruelty is the point. You might notice Arizona has a significant amount of federal land that corresponds with its border right here. Is red or white federal land? Red. Red is federal land. It's a huge, expensive virtue signal. Yeah, the wall always was. Why is it all in the west? Westward expansion. CGP Grey has a good video on it, but basically the idea is that after the westward expansion took place and America realized it wasn't going to get much more land other than that which it had already taken, they realized that they needed a lot of that gobbled up. The reason why, so you know about homesteading? Basically, it's like America only practically controls the land that people live in. You know, it doesn't really mean much if America says it owns the West Coast, but there's nobody out there because that just anyone else can be there, you know? So in order to encourage people to develop out there, they gave railroad companies rights to the land, a quarter mile on either side of the track. They opened up plots for people to homestead on where they would literally have like cross-state races where they would try to race over to get the best flag-marked territory they could. Literally, like some proper JoJo Part 7 shit. Like, hey, the government has like laid out 50,000 homesteading plots over here in Northern California, and we're starting over here in Colorado. On your marks, get set, go, finders keepers, all that crap. But after it became clear that they more or less had control over the land they claimed to control, the federal government wanted more land, more resources to sort of manage responsibility over. So Nevada is just Las Vegas and 1 million square miles of alien spaceships and underground bunkers? Yes. Nevada is pretty useless outside of a couple of key points. Nevada's mostly bomb testing, right? Well, we stopped doing that. The people who got cancer from that sued and got lots of money for it. This map includes Indian reservations as federal land? Yes, it does. I believe technically Indian reservations are a kind of subset of federal land. I don't think state governments have the ability to delegate territory to native reservations. I think the federal government does. So it's sort of a... I don't know. It's complicated. Go watch a CGP Grey video. Hold on, let me turn the water off.